Ding dong YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I'm the Jobless Coder, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 motivational YouTubers. Now, some of these channels deal with financial freedom, some of these channels deal with life motivation. A lot of them actually combine the two, and they talk a lot about ways to motivate yourself, things that you should be doing to change your perspective of the world, and be able to get financially independent, get that freedom that you want, where you don't have to work a 9 to 5 hour shift every single day at a job that you hate, being able to work from home, those types of things. And so these are some of the best resources that I found from these YouTubers. So I'll jump over to my desktop here, and I'll just show you what I'm talking about here. This is my channel. I just started this YouTube channel, so I only have about these 5 people. There's about 7 people I'm subscribed to at the moment, and then 2 additional channels are the Rich Dad channel, which doesn't deal so much with motivational stuff as it is with just financial information. It's more educational than anything. And then TED Talks, which has a lot of motivational things in there about what people do, all kinds of really neat stuff. They had like a kid on there once who, like, he was 16 years old. He invented cold fusion in his basement or something. So that's pretty motivational, but it's not one particular YouTuber. It's just a channel that showcases a lot of the TED Talks that they host. Now, all of these channels are channels that I subscribe to back on my own personal YouTube, my personal YouTube channel that I have, that I upload every once in a blue moon, some video that maybe I go on vacation somewhere, or I record something that's interesting that's happening in the local area, and then I'll feel like uploading that, but I don't really keep up with the videos on that platform. And so I've subscribed to all these guys over there, as well as a whole ton of other channels about various interests that I have. But on this channel, I want to stick and focus mostly on these types of channels, these motivational channels, these channels that focus on financial independence and getting a job and finding work. So the first channel I'll show you is called the Bulldog Mindset. And now, it was previously known as John Somnes. That's this guy's name. And he's a pretty cool guy. I think he's living in California somewhere. He's a software developer, but he does all kinds of amazing motivational videos. He does workout videos. He does videos about life coaching, basically. He even talks about sex and masturbation at some point. And so he has all these really cool videos that I've been following him for about 2 or 3 years now, and I even emailed him personally once and talked to him about some of the issues that I was having in my life, and maybe some of the advice he could give me on fixing it, and he got back to me, responded, and wrote up a whole message to me, and I don't quite remember at the moment what the conversation would have been about, but the fact that he's got 182,000 subscribers, and yet he still found the time out of his day to actually write me a personal email in response to the message that I sent him. So that was pretty cool. Now, one of the things he talks about quite a lot is how to market yourself as a software developer, and he even gives various videos about people in my situation who don't have a job, and he talks about building applications and building websites, and basically you don't need permission to go ahead and do that. You don't need the permission of your teacher or your school. You don't need a university degree. That's a barrier for entry. You don't need the permission of these people to go out and build the life that you want. You just sit down and you put in the time and dedication and the effort, and you just do it yourself. And that's a philosophy that I follow personally, although it hasn't yet worked out, at least in my case. Now, because I was following his channel, and he's done a lot of collaborations recently with a guy known as Locke, I found the second channel here, which is Locke. Now, he's a person who's living in Vancouver here currently at the moment, so he's local. And now what Locke does is he talks a lot about something known as high-ticket closing. And essentially what happens is big companies, large corporations, maybe even small corporations, they have all of these business acquisitions going on, all of these business partnerships and relationships going on, and there's definitely money that's involved with it. And for a lot of the day, say for example, the CEOs, the managers, the business people of these companies, they don't have the time to dedicate their efforts to micromanaging the company. And so what they do is they actually hire external people like Dan Locke to do something known as closing, which is essentially taking a deal that's on the table and saying a bunch of words. That's all you're doing, is you're talking on the phone with somebody. You say a bunch of words that convinces that person that they need you. Whatever service you're offering, whatever thing it is you're selling, you are closing them on the deal. And so he talks a lot about high-ticket closing and about how that works. He talks about money, and he's written several books. One of the things he talked about, too, is something known as FU money. Now, if you've never heard of FU money before, this is actually a concept that I first encountered watching the show Billions on Showtime. Now, the show is actually pretty cool. I enjoy the story, I enjoy the drama they present, and one of the very first things they covered in the first season was essentially this concept that you are so rich, you have so much money to burn, that you can literally say F you to whoever you want, wherever you want, anywhere in the world without consequence. There's nothing they can do because you owe them nothing. And they can sit back and they can complain, but they can't do anything about the fact that you've just burned them to the ground. Now, Dan Locke, what he does is he talks a lot about FU money and how it doesn't have to be billions. It can be a few million, or maybe even a couple 100,000. The number is different for every single person, but the number indicates a point in your life when you have reached such a financial success that you no longer have to answer to anybody. You don't answer to a boss, you don't answer to a landlord, you don't answer to these people who are there and hell-bent on screwing your life up. And so, like I said, the money is different for every single person, but it's the concept of being financially free to the point that you are in control of your life. So if you want to check out one of his books, his newest book here is called Unlock It, or if you want to check out his website or some of the things he offers are online courses as well. He offers a course that's done, I think, a couple times every year, and it's only like a $2,500, $3,000 investment to become a certified high-ticket closer and join his team. And that's something that if I ever reached a point that I would have that extra money, I think it would be worthwhile to invest it back into myself to get those skills, to get that certification from his program. Now, the third channel I'm going to show you here is someone who's probably not just one of the best YouTubers, but honestly probably one of the best human beings on planet Earth, and that is Jake Roper. Now, if you're not familiar with him, he runs the channel Vsauce 3. And so Vsauce 1, Vsauce 2, and Vsauce 3 are a collaboration between Michael Stevens, Kevin Lieber, and Jake Roper. And they run these channels that deal with all kinds of really cool stuff in like science and mathematics. His channel does a lot of video game stuff. Kevin Lieber does a lot of cool things with paradoxes and math problems. And the whole thing is just an absolute blast. Like, it's the best time you'd have on YouTube. And they have won several awards too for being the best online YouTube channel, really. And so this is his personal blog, is his own channel, and he uploads videos that deal a lot with his personal life and things that he's dealing with and going through. Now, he actually fought cancer and survived just a couple years ago, and he basically blogged the whole thing. There was a point in time when a ton of people wanted to send him money too in order to help with his hospital bills, and he basically told them no, he wasn't going to be accepting their money. Instead, he wanted them to send it to their favorite charity, or he gave them links and resources to send it to cancer donation instead of just giving him personally their money so that he could pay for his hospital bills. So he's just an absolute amazing person, and he's pretty funny as well. And one of the really cool things that the Vsauce team has done, now they have created something for the past couple years now. It's called the Curiosity Box, and I'll just show you here what I mean. It's the Curiosity subscription box. Now, if you go to thecuriositybox.com and you open up the link here, this is probably the best subscription box you will ever find. Now, I've done Loot Crate, and I did Nerd Block when it was still a thing, and those boxes you're paying like $100, and it comes every month, and they give you all this cool stuff in it. But the boxes are fairly small, and the stuff is pretty limited, and then maybe you feel scammed or ripped off. But these guys are absolutely amazing. Like, you can get the box for just like $65, which is like $80, whatever Canadian, 80 and 90 Canadian dollars. So not only is it cheaper than other alternatives like Loot Crate, but it has some of the best curated scientific things you could possibly find. Every single box has a shirt that's done up. Every single box has a book that they put in there, and the book is even like personalized for the boxes. They have cool experiments. They have, every single box is a Steam game. You get a free Steam game that's a value of like $20, maybe even $30. And so this is something that I absolutely wholeheartedly subscribe to. I get the box every month, and it's on, they have this Curiosity Quarterly is what they call it. It's like a magazine where they put all of different information in there about it. And I think one of the magazines even contained information about door handles and how it's actually illegal here in Vancouver to have door knobs, because in new buildings, when they construct the new buildings, it's illegal to have doorknobs because it's harder for elderly people or people who may be disabled to open them in the case of an emergency, say for example. So every place is legally having to have door handles, and they put that in the Curiosity Quarterly. And so you can actually go on the store, you can check out the gifts, which is basically getting the box, and then you can also check out their store, which is being able to buy individually selected items from their Curiosity selection. Now, I'll put a link down below, and if you actually subscribe to them through the link, you'll get $5 off your first Curiosity box, which is even better of a deal. And so, if that's something that interests you, I'll add that link below, and you can go and check that out as well. Now, what's also cool about the Curiosity box is a good chunk of the proceeds go to Alzheimer's research. They take a lot of the proceeds and they reinvest it, or they donate it to this charity that deals with Alzheimer's research. And so through the past year and a half that they've been doing this, they've been able to raise over $100,000 towards finding a cure for Alzheimer's, which is pretty awesome. So if that cure ever comes sometime in the future, you can actually maybe credit these guys for some of their help in that initiative. Now, getting back over to YouTube, I'll show you my fourth channel that I subscribe to. Now, this is Tony Robbins. Not only is he a motivational YouTuber, because they put up videos on his channel, but he's also a motivational speaker. Now, he runs a program every year in California. It's called Date with Destiny. And I think it costs somewhere of like $2,000 or $3,000 to actually attend his event, and several hundred people, maybe even I think it's several thousand now, show up. It's done basically once a year, Date with Destiny, and they do it in California, I think. And he has this really cool talk presentation that he'll give, and he'll deal with people individually, and he'll give them life coaching. And this is the program that's probably best known for his walking on coals, walking on fire thing that he does at the end of it. I don't know if they do it every time, but there were several years that they did it where he would force people to walk across these burning coals in their bare feet to teach them that they just need to be willing to accept certain things. They need to be fearless, and then if they can do that, they can do anything else with their life. And so it's quite amazing what he does, and his motivational videos on YouTube are pretty great as well. All kinds of different ways you can improve your life, you can change your thinking, you can basically build the best version of yourself. So that leads me to the final channel that I subscribe to, which is Roberto Blake. Now, this is a channel that I actually recently stumbled upon, like within the last month here. And he has all this content dealing with working from home, dealing with freelancing. He talks a lot about Fiverr and his personal grudge against Fiverr. He talks about building a brand, building a YouTube channel, how to make money from Amazon. Like, you can see he's just got all of this great content. And he actually does events that he goes to and does presentations and talks different places will actually bring him out to do public speaking events. And so I think there's a lot of value that can be gained from his videos as well, in that kind of market that you're wanting to find. Like I say, financial freedom, you want to find independence in your life, you want to build the best version of yourself. Now, if you like this video, then feel free to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing more stuff like this in the future, as well as dealing with the jobs and the other job-related stuff. And so if you also have any comments to add for additional YouTube channels that you may want to I guess send other people to, if you may want to recommend other YouTube channels to other people that you find are motivational, then feel free to comment them below. Thank you for watching. Bye.